Hi all, thank you for having me. So they've given me 10 minutes to talk about speeding up the sales process, which I'm going to boil down to one word. So this first part is I want to tell you what sales engineers are not. We are not tools at all. We are not shovels. We are not hammers. We are not something to be used by the sales team or by customers. Okay? Keep that in mind because we are so powerful and we can help so much during the sales process, but you can't think of yourself as a tool, as a resource. What you are is an expert. That's what sales engineers are. Trusted advisor, consultants. They are the experts. So from the first day that you really start learning the product, we become more experts than most of our customers. And after a couple of times when we've talked to other customers, we're more than our sales reps or anyone else. Okay? So it's really important, if you're going to speed up a sales environment, to know what value you're bringing to the sales environment and that sales process. So you're going to be doing this over and over and over. So if you look at most of the people who you're going to talk to, or sales engineers tend to talk to, they're going to go through this process of buying whatever product a couple of times in their whole lifetime or their whole career. Unlike yourself, you're going to be doing POCs, you're going to be doing RFIs, demos, you're going to be looking at the product over and over and over. So very quickly, within days or months or within a year, you're going to know the space, you're going to know the product better than anyone else in your region. That makes you that trusted advisor. And so when you become that trusted advisor, they're going to look at you on how to best test that application. You're going to tell them things that they didn't know. And when you really are doing your job right, the more that you consult to them at the level, you're telling them things that they didn't even know were pains. And quite honestly, I feel like I'm doing the best when I get my prospects looking down at their shoelaces. When they're looking at their shoelaces, I know the pain and that they're feeling their pain, and I can now bring them out and I can help drive them through the sales process of how to be successful with the product. And they're listening to me about how do I get from point A to B. Sounds a little mean, but it's quite true. So as that trusted advisor, you start to show the pace. Instead of them saying, oh, we expect it's going to be 3 months to go through this, you go, no, I've done this several times. I know how to take this process, if it's a POC, in a couple of days. Right? And show them what that path is. But again, you have to think of yourself, or the sales engineer has to think of themselves, but I didn't ask how many of you are sales engineers, or sales consultants, solution consultants, however you want to call yourselves. But if you're looking at it from a powerful perspective, they're going to also look at you that way as well. So how do you do this? If you're going to really be that trusted consultant, you need to prepare yourself. You need to have POCs that are ready in case you have to, RFIs in case they come up with some. Or even have a blank RFI if they don't, right? You can say, hey, this one's worked for a lot of customers. These are the types of questions that they've been asking. Have it. That puts you in column A, helps you a heck of a lot. That, there again, speeds up the process. If you have demos, if you know what industry they're working in, having a demo that fits closely to their industry makes it a lot easier for them to figure or to see their solution inside it. Also understand what the use cases are, or have stories around how you have solved their problems. All of those things, when you answer those up front, have them look at you, there again, as that consultant and trusted advisor, and you don't have to go doing a lot of the proving later on in the cycle with a POC, which you really do want to avoid at all costs, right? Once you have that down, what do? Well, the first thing is you work your sales rep and you work them hard. Not to be mean to any sales reps that might be in the room, but sales reps very quickly do not have the understanding of the product and capabilities within a sales engineer learning the product within a couple of months. So you need to tell your sales rep, what is the value to the customers? What are they going to see? How are you going to save them money? What are the challenges with integration? How have you solved that? Get them to have the same understanding you do, so when they go to the business side, they have those answers. If they go to the business side and they don't really have the same understanding at the level that you do, they have to come back to you. That's going to take time to go back and forth and slow down the sales process. So make sure that your sales rep understands at the level that you do with each one of your prospects that you're going towards. Then what do? Now the customer. You drive them hard. Maybe not as hard, but you drive them. There again, remember, you have looked at this product, you have solved people's solutions for a year, 2 years, 10 years, a couple of months. It doesn't matter. It's more than that customer. So go ahead, help them with code. If they're trying to do a POC or an integration, if you've done it already, just give it to them. Don't wait for them to ask for it. Give it to them. If there's a demo that will actually help them, if they say, we need a couple of weeks to take a look at it, read your APIs, do an integration, say, what? I can do this in a couple of hours, or we can work together on a WebEx. I can show you what APIs are important, right? I don't want you to look at the 15 APIs, because probably 1 or 2 are the ones that you really need. Let's work through it. Or if it's a larger system, that's all the UI, let's click through that. I'll tell you 99% of the time when I go through that process, once I'm done, they don't do any more. Nobody's looking for more work. They've been given a couple of weeks to try to figure out whether the product will work or not. If you can show them the solution in a day or 2 and you hold their hands, or a couple of hours, more than likely they're not going to do any more. And so that will cut down the sales cycle dramatically. I mean, I used to be in one company where our sales cycle, I hate to tell you, when I joined them, was 1 year. It was a product that we did analysis on the code. And they would check all code, the whole code base. And I started looking at this like, we cannot scale that way. So simply by looking at a piece of their code and saying, hey, let's look at just the security code, we're able to do that in 2 days. Think of taking the POC from like 6 months down to 2 days, how fast that was able to bring down the sales cycle. And by being that consultant and looking at your product and how you can prove your stuff in shorter ways than what most customers are looking at, because you've done it over and over and over, there again will shorten that technical cycle, which shortens the sales process. So it really comes down to, it's your territory. Own it. You are the trusted advisor. You are the consultant. So own it. Tell people what they need to know. Help them see that path, and you're going to shorten your sales cycle. So kind of like, what was it, Joey Chestnut, who eats all the hot dogs. That's why I have it up there. Just one at a time. Work through each of your customers consuming that hot dog, but doing it, at a very fast pace. So that one word that it really comes down to is ownership. You're not a tool. You are the trusted advisor. You own your territory, and you'll drive it like a business. And you don't have time to do little one-offs and piddly things. This is the time I have for you, and you own it. They'll look at you the same way, and you'll speed up the sales cycle. All right. Thank you.